Hello, hello. Welcome on Thursday. So Motif virtually, and I go by the name of Kita P. Apache is taking a break this week, and he sends his love and his regards, and he's around. He's lurking around, and yeah. So this is every Thursday. So Motif, and when we were in person, we were at a local place called Tilly's, Brooklyn. That's right on Halsey and Bedford. And they are still delivering food. They have really great grits and shrimp. I really love it. And just thank you so much for joining us this evening. And yeah, thank you, Heather. I see Amy, all these comments coming in. And yes, we have Simone, who is joining us from the Minneapolis area, the Twin Cities, who will be sharing some of her art with us tonight. And we wanted to uplift St. Paul, Minneapolis. And I personally wanted to just shout out two individuals that are on the ground. I work for a nonprofit by the name of Dignity in Schools campaign. And these two lovely, hardworking women that are from the Twin Cities are out there in the community, lifting up their community, pouring into the youth with very limited resources. And so one group is Kulia. Kulia is the founder of Minnesota Parent Union. And right now she's just on the ground doing her work and helping out the community and just in need of resources, funds to buy food, just regular everyday essentials. And then we have Marika Pfefferkorn, who is the founder of the Midwest Center for School Transformation, who's also on the ground, and she's created a GoFundMe for her campaign that goes directly in the support of the youth in this moment, because we really need to pour into them, because they are the generation to pour into. That's just my opinion, but it's the truth. And so we'll have their information scrolling later on or throughout the broadcast tonight. But with that being said, uplifting everything that's going on in our country and the chaos and what this means, and also uplifting the art that can come out of this, because beautiful art does come out of chaos. I mean, that's that silver lining, in my opinion. But yes, so with that being said, I would love, love, love to welcome our special guest from the Twin Cities, Simone. Simone, are you there? Yes, awesome. So we're gonna let that play for a moment, and Simone will be with us.
Hello.
Hey, Simone, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming on, and we really appreciate you. I know that it's, a really interesting time, and also it's just hard to find your peace in these moments. And so I just wanted to actually start this off by just telling us a little bit about who you are as a person, and if you're born and raised in the Twin Cities, and what you've seen in the last few days, and then we can talk about your art. So you don't have to go into depth, but just a little overview of where you are now and where you came from.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Simone Alexa. I grew up in Hilo, Hawaii. That's on the Big Island. And I moved to Minneapolis for art school. So I go to the Minneapolis College of Art and Design. Where I live is really close to, it's like a block away from Lake Street, which there's been a lot of protesting, a lot of good and positivity, but there's also been, which has kind of disheartened the community, a lot of burnt down buildings, a lot of local businesses that are now like having a hard time because of insurance not being able to pay for arson and stuff. But what's been really beautiful about that is that the community has really like stood together, and we've been out there cleaning, and lots of donations for food, because now we live in a food desert because everything's shut down. So like there's like still a lot of beauty that's happening, even though it's a bit chaotic.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing all of that. And out of this chaos, you still are creating your art, correct? And and what has inspired you in these moments, and if there's anything new that you've been working on, or anything that you've been that actually was from your past that you never finished or something, because those things happen too. But where are you with your art, and what kind of art do you produce?
Yeah, I'm a drawing and painting student, so I love getting in there with my hands. I've drawn a lot of inspiration from artists like Emory Douglas and Aaron Douglas, who Emory Douglas was a graphic designer who he basically illustrated for the Black Panther movement. He was the one making most of the illustrations for the Black Panther magazine, which was one of the biggest sources of income for the Black Panthers. And Aaron Douglas, who he was born right around like right in the middle of World War II, and he was making art that was more about like the empowerment, or I'm sorry, I think World War One, and he was making art about like the empowerment of Black people, and kind of reconstructing the representations of Black and brown bodies that have been harmful in our, in America's history of representation of Black and brown bodies. And so in this time, it was really hard for me to like not have them in the forefront of my brain, going through a lot of this. And, of course, being like my whole life, I've been like an activist, and I've known how important representation is. And so in this moment, I just felt like, what more important could I do as an artist besides be out there painting for the community? And so that's kind of how I decided that, like, I found out one of my favorite bookstores got burnt down, and I cried, and I was like, you know what, we need to be strong and stand together and focus on what really matters right now, which is the Black Lives Matter movement, and go out there and do something. And so that's when I started painting my murals.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it is painful what's happening, but I mean that silver lining is there. You're still able to create, and it actually makes you dig deep as an artist, I think, sometimes, and just like, you have no choice but, oh, this is the only way I know how to release. I know how to share, and so I do think that it's very important, and also it actually gives healing to other people when people see the freedom of your expression, and also you take them through that experience with you. When you share some of your work, they just have an instant connection. So yeah, appreciate your work, and appreciate like everything that you're doing, out there, everything that you can do in these moments, and just keeping your language, and keeping it alive, which I would kind of like just say keeping it alive, like the archive, because all these things are being destroyed and burnt down. But artists and people ourselves, like, we can archive it in our own way, and art is definitely a way to archive our history. And yeah, and so that being said, we're talking about all this art that you're creating. Would you be able to share some of your work on screen?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. So take it away.
All right. All right, so here I have my first mural that I did, which is a block away from my house. It's made on a building called the Midtown Global Market, which it's, not only do people live there and the DMV is there, but it's also filled with like markets of and like stalls by families and cultures from, like, I think over 13 different countries. And so it's like a big hub for community and diversity. And it's kind of in the center of a lot of these burnt down buildings. And so they had to panel up the windows to hopefully prevent this building from being rioted. And as I was walking around, I saw someone painting the building, and I asked if I could help. And so I painted this on the side of a restaurant called East Lake, which is a brewery that I've been to a few times. And as soon as I like started working, there were so many people that got like really excited and really interested in what I was doing, and was asking me and like thanking me for doing what I was doing. And I realized then that having these positive images and like these things that people will see every day and will not only feel inspired by looking at them, but feel like they connect to, because it's representing their community. I thought that was something really special. my next piece that I ended up doing, this one is a little bit farther from my house, but closer to my partner's house. And this one talks about the idea that this movement isn't like one specific incident. This isn't just about, you know, injustice and like the contemporary, but it's really about, you know, the over 200 years of oppression that we have been dealing with as African Americans, and how, you know, we're continuing this fight that was fought in the 60s, and how, you know, we are still being oppressed, and there's still like injustice and corrupt systems that we are fighting. And so on the right side of this piece, there's Martin Luther King, and I think 61 names of people who died during the civil rights movement. And then on the left, we have George Floyd, and I think like about 20 or 21 names of people who have like recently died due to white white supremacists, or like white vigilantes, and police brutality. And then the last mural that I have to show, this one I did yesterday. And this one is very influenced by Emory Douglas, who did a lot of the illustrations for the Black Panthers. And is just about giving like the power to the people, and like showing like beautiful, strong people of color, and that, you know, we will keep fighting, and that, you know, we won't just like, we know that this is wrong, and we're telling you that it's wrong. And so the time for change is now.
Wow. Thank you so much for that share. And your artwork is amazing, and definitely I'm really digging the visuals. And just a quick question about your art. Have you ever done an opening of any sorts, or even within your school, sometimes like finals are like an art opening such?
Yeah, like gallery work. Our school, I put up a lot of my work in the MCAD building, as well as a lot of my work is viewable on my Instagram, which is Simone Alexa Art. And hopefully, as I'm going forward in my schooling, I'll be going out to a lot more like actual galleries and putting my work up there for the community.
Well, best wishes, and thank you for sharing. And also, I just want to uplift again that she's an artist, a young woman in the Twin Cities, you know, in the midst of all the chaos, and still creating, and still seeing the light, and still spreading love. So I definitely wanted to just uplift that. And I also wanted to just shout out, you know, So Motif in the background, making things happen and making these things still work, with Apache gone for the evening. But if you had noticed while Simone was talking about her artwork, we did put up some links, and they're back up again. Of those two organizations and two women that I was speaking of at the top of the hour, who you can donate directly to, and donate funds directly to the ground to them, so that they can feed people, provide resources, and pour into the youth that really need it right now. And they really need us. So, you know, thank you for that. Thank you. And I don't know, do you have anything else you want to share with us? And just thank you for the time. Where can we find you, actually? That's a good question.
Yeah. On Twitter and on Instagram, my handle is Simone Alexa Art. So you can find me on both of those places. And yeah, I'm really grateful just to be here and talking about art. It's so important to our community, and I know that there's a lot of people that are hurting right now. And so, like, you know, I think art is a lot about self-care as much as it's about representing these movements and our people. And I'm just really happy to be a part of it. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Simone. We really appreciate it. And just best of luck and well wishes for all of your endeavors, your creative endeavors, and your professional endeavors going forward. You know.
Thank you.
Thank you. So once again, everyone, that was Simone. She's based in the Twin Cities, and she's an artist. And we'll put up her handle later, where you can go and find out more information about her and look at her work and, you know, communicate with her. But please stay tuned. We got some really dope, amazing artists coming up. We have, let's say, PJ on deck. and then Kiana. And we're just going to take a quick commercial break. But before that, you're watching So Motif, and I'm Kita P Music in place of Apache Brown for tonight.
You're either doing it or you're not. With TBF Strong Boxing and Fitness Training, we put you through the work needed to master your fitness goals. Learn classic boxing training to get in peak mental and physical performance. Learn boxing, lose weight, sculpt, tone, and build muscle. Join us weekly on Instagram Live. TBF Strong, at TBF Strong, because tomorrow was yesterday.
All right. So now we have actually a correction. We have Brock Lightning, who is coming up next to bless us with his guitar and pig nose. So, and also I wanted to say that this is the Art of Protest edition. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Yes.
What's up?
What's up? Welcome, Brock. How you doing today? How you feeling?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, always. Thanks to you for coming every week. Just like me, I'm very thankful that we have this opportunity to share during these times. So yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to ask, like, what's on your heart today? What's on your heart? Like that's something that I would ask some of the artists.
Well, I'm kind of I guess in unison or trying to be in harmony with everybody in what's going on today. Unfortunately, it's something that has been happening to us. I mean, me being a kid of the '80s, this stuff was going on. We used to get chased and everything else, and and it's just gotten worse. And I thought it would get better. Naive maybe. But I'm hanging in there. Trying to be healthy like everybody else. And, that's it.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing. So just to segue, you're going to share some music with us. So what is the song that you're going to share with us first?
Okay, the first song is called Fire. And I hadn't worked out the chords yet. So what I do is I just kind of do it like a poem, I guess. I'm not a poet, and I stutter, so I'm work it through. But yeah, the first song is called Fire.
All right.
So I'll knock that out for you. Okay. People dying in the street, being shot down. Even innocent fall to the wrath of the police. Mama cries, daddy weeps, because another dream is 6 feet deep. What can we do? What can we say? Jimi Hendrix was singing, we don't live today. So much hatred in the heart of man. Too much brutality to understand. Fire, fire, the house is burning down. Fire, fire, ashes of life on the ground. America, your people are torn. Buildings are devoured in protest. Is this really justice for all? Picket signs and broken hearts are the normal today. Desensitization and social decay. Poverty in politics and families in dismay. What's left for our children at the end of the day? Fire, fire, the house is burning down. Fire, fire, ashes of life on the ground. So much of our youth can be dazed and confused, lost and misguided and mentally abused. We kill each other at the drop of a dime. They remove the resources from your hood and leave you with crime. We can do better. I know we can. So put your hands up and scream and yell and protest. Fire, fire. The house is burning down. Fire, fire. Ashes of life on the ground. That's
Wow. Give it up for Brock
thank you.
Lightning. Some
Thank
applause
you.
emojis in
Thank you.
the chat. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, that
Thank
was
you.
a very powerful piece. I can't wait to hear it with chords.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
that's what you're if that's what you're going for.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you have
Uh-huh.
one more song you want to share with us?
Yeah, the next song is called Nat's Turn, and it's about uh basically what's going on now, flipped, because you know, all the time it's been us as black folks, and so Nat's turn is flipping it on that uh uh scenario, I guess, of what it would be if it was our other side. So here we go. Let me get. What if it was Billy or Bob shot down at the neighborhood Exxon for playing their music too loud? What if it was Megan or Duty shot down by a badge of duty? How would you feel? What if you sent your boy to the store and you ain't see him no more? How would you deal? What if it was Nat's turn? Nat's turn. Nat's turn. What if it was Nat's turn? Nat's turn. Nat's turn. What if it was Nat's turn? Nat's turn. Nat's turn to make things right. What if your name was Eric and the police grabbed you around your neck and everything went dark? What if your sister Sandra got dragged from the seat of her car and just to hanging herself for nothing? What if it was Nat's turn? Nat's turn. Nat's turn. What if it was Nat's turn? Nat's turn. Nat's turn. What if it was Nat's turn? Nat's turn. Nat's turn to make things right. What part of your religion condones this treatment of me? My scars are red, white, and blue. From slavery to Jim Crow, now police brutality. Sorry, I thought I was free. You may have to choose sides. Your money won't mean a thing. No flag you raise will matter when the tables turn and burn. What if it was Nat's turn? Nat's turn. Nat's turn. What if it was Nat's turn? Nat's turn. Nat's turn. What if it was Nat's turn? Nat's turn. Nat's turn to make things right. To make things right. Yep.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Sorry, I took my camera off so that just in case.
Mhm.
that was a beautiful piece that you shared with us. And also, I just love the history behind it. I mean, you know, where it derived from. Yeah, and where can we actually find you, Brock Lightning?
BrockLightning.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or on Instagram, Brock Lightning Music.
Okay.
You can find me Twitter at Lightning Brock. And any of your streaming services, Spotify, whoever they are, anywhere. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brock, and we'll see you next week.
You. Yes. God
Awesome.
willing.
Definitely.
Peace, everybody. Peace.
Yes, everybody give it up again for Brock Lightning. Some hand clap emojis in the chat. Thumbs up, like the like button on our YouTube, so we can just get into that algorithm. And also, I just wanted to just uplift again. This is our Art of Protest rendition of the soul motif. And we are uplifting Minneapolis. And I know two people specifically that are out there doing the groundwork. And we put their links up earlier. If you want to donate, I'm just going to continue to put that throughout this live. But donate, we'll put up the links a little bit later too. And also, I feel like I see that my audio might be choppy, so I'm going to try to fix that really quick. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me just fine? PJ,
Yeah.
how you doing?
I can hear you fine. You sound really good. And
Okay,
I was about to say, Derek, you're a good looking man, but wow, you look gorgeous today. But it's you, Keita P. You look great.
Oh, thank you. Welcome, PJ. I was having some issues with my audio, and now we're free. I'm free now.
I got a couple of new toys for my birthday, so can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. It's fine.
All right, so this first song I'm dedicating to someone who's this first song I'm dedicating to someone who said they wanted to hear woodwinds. That's Miss Ro Johnson. Hey, Ro. And she says, you know, we've got to hear Peter doing woodwinds. And this is an interesting story because it kind of ties in to people's perceived, you know, perceptions about people. They're just coming from their own place and judging. So I went to a gig and I'm a woodwind player. Now, this is a Native American flute, and there's many flutes from all over the world that are made of wood. There are African flutes, there are Asian flutes. There's the earliest flutes were wooden. And I remember going to a gig and I had both of my flutes. The other flute is right here, right? And so before I played, one of the men said to me, "Hey, do you also play the real flute?" So, you know, that was interesting, the real flute. So I just looked at him and I said, well, you know, the silver flutes that you see in classical music and Western music and modern music, those instruments are all real. But I would say that this feels and looks real to me. Wouldn't you guys say it's real? And as far as it being a woodwind, these were the original woodwind instruments before you had all of the other expansionary instruments and there's nothing wrong with those instruments, but people like to call it whistles and things like that, which it isn't. And I try to keep an open mind about that, but sometimes I lose my doggone patience with that, because if we're doing that to objects, then I could see sometimes fatally how we do that, how people do that to people, obviously, you know, as we see. To dehumanize a person makes it easier to do those things to them. And to negate things makes it easier for you to brush them off. But for you, Miss Ro, because you wanted a woodwind, and I'm glad to bring it to you, I'm going to play a woodwind, one of the original woodwinds right now. This song is called All Over, Song 106. I hope you like it.
Great job, PJ. That was amazing. You put me in a trance just now. That was beautiful. So now you're going to go to the steel. This.
Yeah, so now I'm going to go to the silver flute, the metal flute.
All right, share.
So this song is about someone very wonderful and dear to me. My son is very dear to me, of course. And he served in the Peace Corps in the Dominican Republic. And his experience was interesting because my son, like me, is African American. And when we see the diaspora around the world, we sometimes have to understand that people are at different places culturally or just individually. So when my son first went, he signed up and he says, I was signing on a thing and I put down that, the choices were this, that, and the other. He says, I put down black negro, right? And the guy says, no, that has to be India or something else. And my son says, yeah, but that's not what I am. I want to put that down. So that was the beginning of a journey for him because he had to really understand things in a different lens, not accept it necessarily, but understand him. And I think that gave him a more sense of purpose when he returned. But when he was there, he met a wonderful family, the Robles family. And he met and fell in love with their beautiful daughter. They have 3 girls and an older son, and they're all wonderful. And her name was Caridad. And they were seeing each other for 5 years. And they married in November. And I thank God that they married when they did. Her family flew in from the DR to come to the wedding. And if it was now, they couldn't have, right? And when I tell you this girl is beautiful, to me, she looks like a flower. She has the most beautiful face and the most beautiful afro, and her face looks like a flower in it to me. But probably I'm biased because her spirit is so wonderful. And to me, she's a queen. And I hope that she is always happy and always bring the positivity to the world that she is. And she's definitely touched my life. So this song is called Caridad.
Wow, amazing job. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, and they're both real. That's all I have to say. Both of them are real and very, very, very like truthful, genuine, and vulnerable stories that you told with both of these songs. So thank you for sharing. And where can we find more about you, actually?
Well, I have an Instagram account, PJ McAlpine, and it mostly has my plants and my cats on it. But since I got this new equipment, maybe I'll be expanding more.
Please do.
I know one thing. I can't wait till I can go to Brooklyn Blues and just see all of you live.
Yeah, me too.
So much. I mean, it's not even to me about me playing it. I just want to see it. It's something I wanted to do before COVID. It's something I definitely feel I want to do now in this time. I miss you guys, I consider you my peoples, my friends, even though we've never met. I feel
Right.
like I have a place to go. It's a home. And to all the musicians that are playing, you're wonderful, beautiful, courageous people. And I shine on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, PJ. Big round of applause in the chat box for PJ. The flute, which is amazing. And we have next up is Kiana. And I just want to reiterate, we are watching Soul Motif Thursdays. This is the art of protest rendition. And I am Kita P Music, and that's KITAP Music, all one word. And I will keep reiterating, we are uplifting the people that are on the ground. So I'm uplifting Marika Pfefferkorn of Midwest Center for School Transformation and Kulia Pringle of Minnesota Parent Union. Forgive me. And we'll put up their links later. We'll put up their links right now where you can donate. Please donate. These women are on the ground and they definitely could use your resources, and they're putting in the work and pouring into our youth at this moment. And so next up we have Kiana. And Kiana, are you ready? Hey, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Doing all right.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope I pronounced your name correctly, right? I did. Yeah, okay, cool. And so let's see what's on your heart today, Kiana.
This first song is gonna be a cover. I don't usually do covers, but I thought this one would express what it is that I was feeling, and hopefully express, for someone else what they're feeling.
Awesome. Well, take it away. Wow, thank you so much. That was amazing, and definitely like just a wonderful song to cover. Yeah, like just beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, what else is on your heart tonight that you want to share?
So this next song is about love, and it's called Faith.
Okay, but before you start, just have a note. Could you sing a little bit louder? Your vocals are a bit low. That's
Okay.
what. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, take it away with your love.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I need some love, faith. I need some love. I need someone who's gonna hold me close tonight. I need someone who's gonna come outside tonight. Trust me, give me just one faith. I need some love. Can the stars watch as we play our songs for if your arms will sail off into the storm. You know what? Love, feel what I feel. Faith, trust in love. Faith, trust in love is all I can give you. Walk on water, swim through the storm, and you be my forgiveness. God's love. When you walk on water, and you swim through the storm, and you be my forgiveness. God's love. Can you swim through the storms? Can you be my forgiveness from the gods I love? Can you walk on water? Can you swim through the storms? Can you be my forgiveness from the gods I love?
Wow. Yes, that was amazing. I really was just in a groove just now with you, like vibing out. And one of the comments, I think it was from Simone, was saying that you could feel your emotion per note, every note that you were singing. So it was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, I can feel your emotions in each note. That's what Simone Tatiana said. So you're definitely resonating with people, and just keep it up. I think it's amazing. Where can we find you?
I'm on most streaming platforms, so Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and I'm on Instagram at Major Muse, Major like a Sergeant Major, and
Okay.
Muse like a Greek Muse, but spelled Muse.
Okay. Awesome. Well, will we see you again next week?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, everybody give a big round of applause. Give it up for Kiana Major. She'll be joining us next week. Go check her out on Major Muse on social media. You are watching Soul Motif live or streamed live on Thursdays, and it is brought to you by Apache Brown Band. Say hello to all of them in the comments because they're all here. They always show out Charles, Isaiah, Apache, and I am Keita P. And this is the Art of Protest rendition of Soul Motif this Thursday. We have Doran J coming up. And so get ready for some nice groups. Doran J, and that is Doran, Dorenn. How you doing,
Hey,
Doran? How you doing
I'm
today?
good.
Good.
Everything's good. Yeah.
Good. With all this time, I actually wanted to just ask you specifically a question, because we're in this time and you are part of this younger generation. Um, do you mind just sharing just like a moment of like how you're feeling about this situation that's happening, or your thoughts just briefly? It's okay if I put you on the spot, but I just want to talk to you.
Definitely. It's very upsetting. I feel a bit like defeated at times, but especially when I'm like checking Twitter and like Instagram. But I just try to stay positive and get through it, share as much information as I can with people to make sure people are informed and that they're safe, and that hopefully one day we can move on to like a better world. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I just wanted to get your thoughts, because you guys are leading the way. Your generation is, and younger. So what's on your heart today to share with us?
Well, I have two songs. The first one, I thought I wrote it about stage fright, but like I was examining the lyrics again, and like I feel like the lyrics like relate so much more to like what's happening now, especially with George Floyd. So I wanted to play that.
Awesome. Doran J, take it away.
Thanks. Weak in my knees, now my eyes just drift away. Caught up in a moment in a haze. Freely I could sing, but my words won't come out now. Choking on these bells, foaming at the mouth. Working out my conscience, misunderstood. All they have is lies and truths from bitter books. Weak in my knees, darling, but please. Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Thank you
Yes,
so
and
much.
definitely fitting. And oh man, that's beautiful. And I definitely am loving how I really love like the I don't know. Your writing is just like I don't know. It's spot on to me. I feel like it's perfect type of
Thank
writing.
you.
So yeah.
Thank you so much.
So continue to share what's on your heart. You got song number 2 for us?
Yep. I did this one last week actually too, I think. It's about police brutality also,
Okay.
and specifically Washington Square Park and how just like the juxtaposition of the park and like how we've been there for very positive things, and also how like a lot of protests have happened there. There's protests there happening like today, I think too, and how like a lot of police brutality has also happened there. So that's what this song is about. We came together for a second in the summer. Differences aside, we all still loved each other. Inside you, I've had to say so many sweet goodbyes. And I know you've seen it all with your overbearing eyes. Please me and you took something for my mind. Miss a party till fall when the place won't be mine. Said please me and you took something for my mind. And it's a party till fall when the place won't be mine. Oh, for a second I thought that these beatings would pass. And oh, for a second I thought that these protests couldn't last. But when the winter comes and we all run, there's space for the enemy. And we yell and scream till the bullet holes gleam. Don't shoot me, I can't see you. Please me and you took something for my mind. And it's a party till fall when the place won't be mine. Said please me and you took something for my mind. And it's a party till fall when the place won't be mine. Thank you.
That was awesome.
So
I was over
much.
here singing with you. Man, dope.
Thank you so
Awesome. This is
much.
the time to just enjoy that kind of stuff. And wow, beautiful. Give it up for Doran J. And that is Dorenn.
Yep.
Okay, 5 N's on Instagram, Doran J. And where can we find you? Anything else? What's coming up with Doran J?
Actually, I just decided like 10 minutes ago I'm gonna remix that song I just did,
It's a
redo the
beautiful
mix, and put
song.
it on Spotify. So that's gonna come soon.
Ooh.
And with all the current events happening, I'm probably gonna be a bit delayed, but I have an EP coming soon, so that's exciting too.
I'm excited for it. Yeah, thank
Thank you.
you. Yeah, give it up again one more time for Doran J. That's Dorenn
Yep.
on Instagram.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you next week. Yeah, once again, that was Doran J. And yeah, he's part of the youth. We have Ava, who's also a youth that's going to be coming on and sharing her work. And you are watching Soul Motif on Thursdays. And I'm Kita P, standing in for Apache Brown for just today. And this is the Art of Protest rendition of Soul Motif. And we are here on YouTube and Facebook on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, we'll bring up Ava. And I want to also uplift in this moment Minneapolis, where all this stuff started, and George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. And please donate. We have some links that you can donate to scrolling across the bottom. Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. You sound very clear today, so that's great.
Oh, good. I put my mic in and made it fixed, so.
Yes, you sound very awesome and crisp. But I wanted to actually ask you the same thing I asked Doran when he started, because you guys are, part of this youth. You're part of that in this generation that is coming up. And so I'm just wondering if you just want to share, you don't have to, just your thoughts, your perspective on this moment in time, and you can definitely share. It's a safe space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the past week I've noticed a lot of things, just with myself, and just observing things, as a young person. Kind of my whole social life right now is on social media. And so, it's just really interesting to see the toll that it takes on me, and then the toll that it takes on other people, and how people are choosing to be activists, and those that are choosing to stay silent. And like Doran said, there's times where I just feel just defeated. But I'm hopeful because social media has made such an awareness push, and every day I'm educating someone, and I'm hoping that there's a lot of people like that, and people are just going out there and trying to learn. So.
Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And thank you for, doing the work that you do and staying creative in the process, and just using that as a funnel to cope in a healthy way, and also to provide healing for others, whether you realize it or not. So that being said, Ava, what's on your heart? What are you going to share with us today? Your first song.
Well, normally I do my original songs here,
Okay.
but I've been kind of just reflecting in talking to people. I've just kind of been reflecting on the influence of Black music and all music. And so I just decided I wanted to do 2 covers by 2 of my favorite people who I've been listening to since I was, I don't know. So the first is going to be a Nina Simone song, and Baltimore. And please forgive my guitar playing because I just learned it today on guitar. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Beat up little seagull on a marble stair. Trying to find the ocean, looking everywhere. Hard times in the city, hard town by the sea. Ain't nowhere to run to, and there's nothing left for free. Hooker on the corner, waiting for a train. Trunk lying on the sidewalk, sleeping in the rain. They hide their faces and they hide their eyes. Cause the city's dying and they don't know why. Don't know why. Oh, Baltimore, ain't it hard just to live? Oh, Baltimore, Get my sister Sandy, my little brother Ray. Buy a big old wagon. They gonna haul us away. Living in the country where the mountains hide. Never coming back here till the day I die. Oh, Baltimore, ain't it hard just to live? Oh, Baltimore, ain't it hard just to live, just to live?
Great job. Great job. Thank you for sharing. That was amazing. I really felt that. I was singing along with you, trying to find harmonies, but I'm not that great at that yet. But yeah, I was like trying to dig in my lower register. It didn't happen. But you sounded amazing. And I'm excited to hear what's next on your heart to share. And big ups to Nina Simone, because she definitely used her art for the revolution.
Absolutely. So next one is going to be kind of short. But this one is a Nat King Cole favorite, and I think I've sung it almost every day now, just to uplift myself. So I'm gonna sing "Smile" a cappella. Smile, though your heart is breaking. Smile, even though it's aching. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use in crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's it.
That was beautiful. And you actually triggered someone to write in the comment section an old soul. And I was literally thinking that while you were singing both these songs, that you definitely are an old soul. And yeah, thank you. That is definitely an uplifting song. And yeah, thank you for sharing. And you'll be back next week?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, cool. And where can we find you before you go? Where can we find you?
I'm on Instagram at ava.rosee1. That's 2 E's. And Ava Henry on Facebook.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you, Ava. I can't wait to hear you next week. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. You too. All right. So that was Ava. And we're just going to take a brief moment. This is So Motif. I'm Kita P Music. I'm getting more and more comfortable with, saying the regular spiel here, so that's great. But yes, I'm Kita P Music. This is So Motif. This is the Art of Protest rendition. We are uplifting specifically Minneapolis. Everybody knows what's going on. I'm uplifting two individuals in Minneapolis myself, the Twin Cities. Marika Pfefferkorn of the Midwest Center for School Transformation, and Kulia Pringle, the founder of the Minnesota Parent Union. And we have their links, and they'll be scrolling throughout the show to donate. You want to donate on the ground, do not donate. I would encourage you to donate on the ground and not donate to big organizations and corporations at this moment. Like, I actually donate to the people on the ground. And I can attest and I can assure you, these are two women who are on the ground and need resources and are providing more than what they have to the people in their community, just like those that are surrounding them. So anyway, next up is Dennis. Dennis, are you ready?
Okay.
Oh, hey, Dennis.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I was obviously in my feelings. I had watched the the memorial service. That kind of threw me for a loop. So I have something I'm going to do here that it wasn't planned, but let's see how it goes.
Okay. Take it away.
Yeah. So this piece is entitled "OMG." Oh my George. George Washington is not my founding father. I'd be the baby of a daddy who was an atomic dog. I'd be the puppy of a pappy who came to this planet in a Parliament Funkadelic mothership. He came down to Earth to funk it on up. George Clinton, no relation to Bill, even though they both smoke marijuana, which is sometimes referred to as Puff the Magic Dragon. St. George, patron saint of England, battled against a fire-breathing dragon, which symbolized Satan. The name Satan means adversary. The name George means earth worker. There is so much social justice work to do on earth, and it's only fitting that someone named George has made us get back to work. Oh, my George. We lost our George Michael faith in the saint that protects black men who are jogging. So I no longer jog in Georgia because I want to live to be George Clooney's age. At a young age, I was curious about that monkey. How would he feel if King Kong told him the truth about Tarzan and the man in yellow? George Costanza was the most yellow-bellied character on Seinfeld, always scared of his boss, George Steinbrenner. OMG, oh my George. Boy, oh boy George sang, karma, 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 chameleon. When we speak about whose lives matter, they quick to change the color from black to blue. When you're real dark, they call you blue-black. Colorism in the black community brings me down, so I listen to the blues. My eyes went misty blue when I saw Eric Garner's mother mourning the merciless killing of George Floyd. OMG, oh my George, George Foreman, a man with his own grill, the only man to ever sell an infomercial product that actually worked. Georgie Porgy Pudding Pie kissed the girls and made them cry. I hope they didn't cry because he kissed them without consent, because that would constitute a sexual assault. George Jefferson sold his dry cleaning business and became a preacher. Every Sunday, he'd be in the pulpit asking the congregation, "Can I get an amen?" First Lady Weezy's dream book says, if you dream of someone walking on your back, play 227. If you dream of being choked to death while they do it, then play it 11 times. If you dream of the name George, play 846. Oh my George, Lord, 8 minutes and 46 seconds, unable to breathe, begging, please, officer, your knee is killing me. Literally. Oh, OMG, I watched George Floyd's memorial service on TV today, presided over by Al Sharpton. Reverend Al said George's last words were to call for his mama, but George's mother passed away long before George was murdered. So maybe she was calling to him from the other side. If she wasn't telling him, George, it's not your time. She wasn't telling him, George, don't go toward the light. Everyone thinks it's the hereafter, but it's actually an oncoming train. No, George's mother was telling him, son, all I ever prayed for was to see you again, but not like this. I wanted us to be reunited in the afterlife, but not because of death by asphyxiation. What is it the young folks say, George? OMG. This oxymoronic Mother's Day gift is the most bittersweet one ever.
Wow, thank you. That was very, I would say, very vulnerable. Such a vulnerable and such a like a new, fresh message with what's going on in current. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for opening it up like that. And also with that, I was just wondering, where are you based? Are you based in New York?
I'm in Staten Island.
Okay, you're in Staten Island. Okay, awesome. And yeah, and what's on your heart to share next?
Actually, that's all I have because that kind of just took everything out of me.
Well, thank you for sharing. That was a really amazing. Dennis, that was creative and compelling. Ro Johnson.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful and very, definitely very heavy. And will you be joining us next week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay.
And just I will just give you a little backstory. Like I actually just wrote that piece. I try to take a little walk in the evening, and as I was walking, that just came to me. So that I literally that's fresh out the oven.
Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. Like I said, chaos, we end up creating such creative and amazing art through this that speaks volumes. So thank you. And where can we find you?
Oh man, I should by now I should know this by now. But I mean, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I mean, all you got to do is just put in M.A. Dennis, and
Okay. M.A. Dennis, everyone. Yeah. A big round of applause on the emojis in the chat. Just some hand claps for M.A. Dennis. And we'll see you again next week. And, stay lifted. You're welcome. So the next person that we have coming up is Frankie Midnight. And Frankie, are you ready?
Oh, it says oh, there I am. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Hold on, let me fix it.
Oh, it's fine. It looks super cool in my opinion.
Oh, okay, I'll leave it then.
Yeah, but how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm well. I can't complain. Thank you so much for joining us. I would like to ask, where are you based?
Based in Miami, Florida, Miami Gardens.
Miami Gardens. Oh, well, thank you again for joining us. And just to get your perspective, how are you taking things in at the moment?
It's really interesting. I mean, I'm taking it like everybody else. It's not really. I mean, I'm not out protesting. I do commend the protesters. I'm just not really in a position to be out there, unarmed and unprotected, So I'm just kind of just, standing and just kind of observing everything and definitely being social online. I think, a lot of my friends have been saying I've been kind of reckless talking lately because I've been kind of bringing awareness of, legal firearms and things like that, which is kind of crazy, but at the same that we have to come to this. But as far as where I stand and how I'm taking everything, I just feel like we're at a point where, not to advocate violence, but it's like, damn, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, how are we gonna protect ourselves? Like we can't bring knife to a gunfight. We can't bring signs to a gunfight. You know what I mean? We have to be educated and we have to be armed and guarded with the word. And and our swords. You feel me? And in this world, our swords is our, you know, our weapons. You know, not to get too into it, but
No, I
you
totally
know what I mean? Yeah. So it's crazy that we came to this point.
And well, thank you so much for sharing. I know it's a rough time. And I also wanted to uplift that this is actually your first time on Soul Motif. I didn't realize that. So I wanted to lift that up and welcome. And I hope that you join us again and again and again. And so with that being said, I'm going to just ask you to share. I'm going to get off screen, but I'm going to ask you to share what's on your heart today.
So this is a song. It's on my EP. You can get it on Patreon. The video isn't out yet. It'll be out soon. It's called When the Rain Falls. So yeah. All right, here we go. I'm gonna change the vibe up a little bit because and I want to give a shout out to my homegirl Kiana. I saw her performance and to the performers that were performing. I'm gonna change the vibe up just a bit, and I hope y'all like it. I don't wanna stay inside today. I'd rather go outside and play. I really don't like when it rains. I get all wet and I gotta drain. I'm so bored when I'm stuck inside. It makes me wanna run away somewhere and hide. Cause inside I got nothing to do except play with old toys and read a book or two. Oh, sun, shine down. Oh, sun, shine down. I see the sky is about to break. The sun is gone and the clouds are gray. Clouds are gray. I hear a drum set in the sky. The kick is loud and the crash is dry. Crash is dry. I see the pretty lights flashing round. I dance until the rhythm of the strident sound. And all the while I remain inside, watching from my window as I sit inside. Oh, sun, shine down. Oh, sun, shine down. Oh, sun, shine down. Oh, sun, shine down. Oh, I don't wanna stay inside today. I'd rather go outside and play. Outside and play. So pretty please, son, show your face and bless me with your warm grace. Oh, sun, shine down. 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 Oh, sun. That's the song.
Thank you so much. I can't wait for the video. And it's actually, I don't know if you, I mean, you definitely uplifted the vibe for sure. Uplifted the vibe. And actually, just can you talk about how that song came about?
Yeah. How did it sound? By the way, this is my first time like performing to the track, so I don't know how it sounds.
It sounded nice to me. I think, and for me, there was a bit lag, but there's a lag on everybody that comes on. So
okay, as long as like the mix was nice. Yeah, no, that song, it's like a it's like about being stuck inside on a rainy day. I use that as an analogy for pretty much dealing with the the negative moments that we go through in life, because life is about balance. So sometimes we have ups and downs. So it's pretty much talking about that through the analogy of a rainy day, being stuck inside on a rainy day. I want to go outside and play, and I want things to be good all the time, but sometimes it's not. And that's okay, because it's a balance. God tests us that way. Sometimes we're going to be thrown things to see how faithful we are, and are we only good when are we only happy when things are good, or are we going to be down and be faithful when the times are crazy? So that's kind of like, I'm just that's the story I'm telling through the elementary of being stuck inside on a rainy day. Yeah.
No, that's dope. Thank you for sharing. Well, with that being said, what's next on your heart? You can definitely take it away from here.
Awesome. So okay. This song, the video, I'm gonna put it out soon. I was gonna put it out on the 1st, but I kind of wanted to hold off because of what was happening. This song and the video is gonna be so dope, because it's crazy. I made this video in February. These songs were already recorded, but I mean, I feel like I kind of like I didn't see this was going to come to this point, but when you see the video, you'll see what I mean. You thought I had made it yesterday, because it's so on point with what's happening. It's called "The World Is Crazy," and the vibe is very upbeat. It's like a throwback to the Beatles, and it's just it's really wanting to be good in a crazy world. All right. I know the world is crazy, crazy as can be, but I know we can make it if we all can agree. I know the world is scary, scary as it gets, but I know we can make a safer place for our kids. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good in this crazy world. I know we all are different points of views, but I know we can make it if we all remain true. Da, 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 da. I know the world is wicked, temptations all around, but I know we can make it if we all stand our ground. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good in this crazy world. Rock out. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good in this crazy world. I know the world is good. guess it's not all bad. And I know we can make it with the good times and bad. Da 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 da. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good. I wanna be somebody good indeed. Crazy world, it's crazy world, it's crazy world, it's crazy, crazy, crazy world. Oh, crazy, crazy world, it's crazy world. That's the song.
Amazing job. Amazing job. Thank you so much for that. And I definitely love your vibe. And forgive me, I thought I had a better memory than this, but it actually clicked for me while you were playing. And also the fact that you're based in Miami. I was like, oh, I think he's performed for Empire State Music and Arts Festival at the Depth of Genre. And that was you. And I remember now, and I remember, yeah, so that was like a beautiful experience. I'm glad I get to experience you this way as well, but it's a small world. I feel like we're attracted to the same type of things. So I love your vibe. I love your music. Thank you for sharing. Where can we find you?
I remember you too, by the way. Your energy was so dope. So that's
thank you.
Yeah, so you can find me. I'm on Instagram, Frankie Midnight. You want to check out you want to check out any of my videos, my YouTube. My YouTube is my official platform where I release all of my music videos and things like that. Frankie Midnight YouTube, and then you can support me on Patreon. My EP is out with those songs. The EP is only $6. I know it's kind of crazy right now with the times, so that's why I haven't really been pushing it. But if you want to hear something new and you want to check out something that's really dope, you can check those out. It's 4 tracks. It comes with some extra little content in the EP you can download. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like my YouTube and my Patreon.
Well, thank you. I'll be in touch with you on a personal note because I just really dig your style and dig your vibe and what you're creating. But thank you for sharing, and I hope to see you next week for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Mo as well. He's the one that I want to give a shout out to my homegirl Kiana who performed earlier. She's been encouraging me to perform more during these times.
Awesome.
I want to give a shout out to Mo because I met him at the age in Miami. So he told me about the platform, and I want to give a shout out to my girl Simone. She was there in New York with me, and she's been helping me kind of perform a little bit more too. So.
Wow, that's wonderful. It's a small world. Creatives, we all know each other. Well, you know everybody. Anyway.
Support Simone Titania on Patreon. She's an amazing photographer. She has these postcards. I mean, thanks for allowing me to be on a platform. I just felt like I should share it and just plug in the people I love and care about. And she's a dope photographer.
All right, thank you. Yeah, and and we'll see you next week. And also, yeah, we'll see you next week. Thank you.
All right, that's what it is. Take it easy.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just perform a few songs that are on my heart. Not a few, just 2. And so I'm going to perform a song of mine that I think is pretty fitting for these times. And once again, just reminding you to reminding you of several things. To subscribe to our YouTube and the Facebook Soul Motif, so we can really be a part of this algorithm here. And we're also on Instagram, Soul Motif. And also, this is the Art of Protest rendition, and we are here every Thursdays on YouTube and Facebook streaming live. And with this rendition, we are uplifting people on the ground in Minnesota, Marika Pfefferkorn and Kulia Pringle. The links to donate are scrolling across the screen. Even if it's $5, it's very, very much important because they are working hard and they are definitely on the ground, pouring specifically into our youth and communities that need it the most. And so with that being said, my favorite phrase of the night, with that being said, I'm just going to sing 2 songs and and just send me, Soul Motif, send me a chat if there's something wrong with my vocals, Oh, yes. And one last thing before I sing. Breonna Taylor, the young lady who was killed in her apartment while she was sleeping by police, her birthday is tomorrow. So I definitely want to uplift that. I'm going to be posting a little something for that tomorrow. But yes, please. And there's lots that you can do, whether you feel you can't or not. Like there, even if from your own home, there is lots that you can do in providing resources at the bare minimum to others around that are in need. And big shout out to Diggs227. So anyway, I'll just sing these two songs and let me know if I have any audio issues. So Motif. So this song is actually an original song that I shot a video for. It was like my only real, well, my second, but it was like a real legit video. And it's called History, and I actually wasn't planning on singing that, but I do feel like it's the sign of the time. Well, not the sign of the times. It just is fitting to sing this song. So. Hey, yeah. Ooh. Ooh. It takes 2 generations to erase a history. So I sing for the free, so my kid can see. Third eye is wide by this blind vibe. So I sing for the free, so my kin can know peace. Beware killer caps on the block that will shoot you down in the street. Beware of the brothers on the corner that will do just about anything to eat. Beware of those dudes in the suit, I swear they perpetrate everything from the drugs on your block to the knowledge they omit when teaching your seed. It takes 2 generations to erase a history. So I sing for the free, so my kid can see. Third eye is wide by this blind vibe. I sing for the free, so my kid can know peace. Understand the systematic attack on us people. Worse when you are black, the world is evil. Watch the cream cruise, cause cash rules everything around us. The face of our master, decay in our masses. While prisons make pain, the individual loses rank. So, to erase a history. Woo! Third eye is wide by this blind vibe. I sing for the free, so my kid can know peace. Vibe, vibe, vibe. Ooh. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, when it all falls down. I'm telling you, oh, falls down. Keep forgetting that bass note. So that song is called History, and it's been out for at least since 2017. And I had the joy of coming together with my family, like my real family, the people that I share blood with, that I grew up with, to take part in this video. And I am truly blessed for all those people that showed out and came through, and BGP and just near and dear friends. So shout out to you guys. And also, like I said, I just felt like that was fitting for this time. And then also on a lighter note, just something that a song that I really love to sing. And I'm also just doing some work on myself to come up with like an interesting band rendition of this song. So this is one of my favorite artists of all times, and I hope you enjoy. Add a little sugar, honeysuckle, a great big expression of happiness. Boy, you couldn't miss. With a dozen roses, such would astound you. The joy of children laughing around you. These are the makings of you. It is true, the makings of you. The righteous way to go, yeah. Little one would know or believe if I told them so. You're second to none. The love of all mankind should reflect some sign of these words I've tried to recite. They're close but not quite, almost impossible to do, reciting the makings of you. Of you. All right, so that's one of my faves, Makings of You, Curtis Mayfield. I really hope that it uplifted some people. It always makes me feel good. He was just such a great orchestrator and a great songwriter and composer. So we have, to close out our night of this So Motif, the Art of Protest rendition, lifting up people on the ground in Minnesota, like Marika Pfefferkorn and Kulia Pringle. Their links have been running and scrolling across the screen all night. Please, please, please donate. Even if it's $1, just donate. It really does go to the people on the ground where they really need resources the most. And as Simone said earlier, you know, certain places have become food deserts because everything is actually shut down. Anyway, so next that we have coming through is Mo Beasley. Are you ready, Mo? He's a poet. He's an entrepreneur. He is everything.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful. Oh, you put me in the right mood. Curtis Mayfield is my all-time favorite songwriter, right up there with
it's beautiful.
Prince. I call Curtis the James Baldwin of soul music, He's just thank you, Keita. I don't know, you couldn't see the comment, but I'm saying you are such a great student of soul music.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Well, we need.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry. I actually you are someone I actually wanted to talk to on this about it, but how are you feeling and what are what is your state right now? Like, how are you assessing the situation?
I've gone through the gamut of emotions all week. As I'm sure everybody has gone through it. I've raged at the beginning of the week, especially with coworkers and colleagues, non-Black people who just don't understand, who don't want to understand, who don't want to do the work, and that's what keeps us from moving forward as a country. And so, and I raged so much, and then yesterday, I just woke up and I was so sad. I'm in real talk. I woke up, it felt like lead, and I had to cry. Like I woke up yesterday morning, I just had to cry because our lives don't matter to so many, and hearing people trying to explain to me why we can't offend other people with Black Lives Matter and what have you. And I'm just going like, yeah, no. Mm-mm. So, and that's why the first joint I have is what I wrote to kind of channel that energy.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah, I'm so glad y'all I knew Soul Motif would be answering the call for what's going on in the country this week. So yeah. Y'all ready for some? Uh-oh.
We ready.
Okay. Something about that mute button for the host. The chickens have come home to roost, to televise the revolution on the way to the promised land. Most of us may not get there. Too many lambs continue to be slaughtered. These states of united riots, protesters, and provocateurs have set the slaughterhouse ablaze. Will a phoenix rise from the husk, exorcised of original sins, irradiating fear, hate, and White House corporate gangster games? Or do we all take flight upon whichever wings we can ride or waters we can cross? The chickens have come home to roost, to televise the revolution, and I can't see near mountaintop, promised land, nor forest for new poplar trees and tear-gassed clouds. Hope is audaciously idiotic at this time. In this time-space continuum, faith in redemption is futile. Ragnarok is upon us. Don't be dense as a thunder god. Embrace the serenity to surrender to this thing we cannot change, and the courage to be new Noahs, drafting schematics for new arcs and charting courses for chosen lands. The chickens have come home to roost, to televise the revolution. All promises made to us were meant to be broken.
Wow, thank you. Give it up. Hand claps emojis. Yeah, that was just very much inspiring and telling, like I appreciate it. And like, yeah, I just appreciate everybody being vulnerable today. It's a tough spot. We're in a crazy world, but our country is like kind of just lit on fire. In mass. So, thank you for sharing. And also, do you have anything else you want to share that's on your heart tonight?
I do. And Ro posted something just now and said, yes, we are exhausted. We are exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I do. And this is a story. Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Saved a wretch like me, once was lost, now I'm found. Teaching a poetry class in East New York about 10 years ago, this young teenage poet was riffing, spitting, alluding to all these great lyrics from this legendary hymn, Amazing Grace. And I was so elated to hear a young poet knowing the lyrics and alluding to something classic. And so at the end of it, I said, so you like that song, Amazing Grace? He said, huh? I said, the lyrics, you're quoting all these lyrics from that great hymn. He said, nah, I just heard it all my life and I like the words, so I put it in my poem. I said, oh, so you don't know the story of Amazing Grace? Nah. So I asked the class, I said, class, y'all know Amazing Grace? They said, yeah. I said, so in the song Amazing Grace, when the song sings, I was a wretch saved by grace, who's the wretch? The little black girl said, a Black person, of course. I said, so then who's the grace? She said, Mr. Mo, come on. a white guy. And I said, oh, so you don't know the story of Amazing Grace? Because that ain't the story. The story of Amazing Grace is the story of John Newton. John Newton was a songwriter. He was hot like Kanye back in the day, writing hymns for everybody. He writing hit song hymns back in the day, 1771, somewhere around there. He was writing songs, but before he became a hit songwriter writing hymns, serving the Lord, he had another gig that was paying even better. But he gave that gig up. Because his gig before writing the hymns, the hit hymns, was running ships. He was a ship's captain, running some of the most vaunted and expensive cargo during them times, 1771. And so he was charting our ancestors and making money hand over fist. And everybody in the game of running slaves was making money hand over fist. If you were making sails, you was making money. If you was building lumber, you was making money. If you was building glue to keep the wood together, you was making money. So you might not like slavery, you might like it, you don't care, but you making money because it's hot like the .com is hot today. And so, but one day, story goes, the legend says that John Newton got off the boat one night, and this particular harsh journey was long, and lost a lot of his cargo along the way, which is often to happen back in them days, that cargo being human beings. And when he finally got back, dropped them off, collected his money, pockets was fat, went to the pub, got drunk, headed on home, and on his way home, he's walking and he heard this sound. He was like, what is that? Well, he thought he was drunk and he was hearing things, he kept walking, but the sound called him again. And he was walking home, but kept moving towards the sound. And before he could realize, he had moved in the direction of the sound and was on his way home. And as he walked closer to the sound and it got closer, it got more beautiful, it got more captivating, and it was pulling him from like right in here. And he walked down the road, and as he walked closer, he saw that it was a church. And he thought, oh, it's choir service. It's choir rehearsal because this ain't Sunday. So he gets to walk and he said, but I've never heard a choir like this. And so he walked closer and he kept walking closer. And as he got into the doorway of the church and he saw down at the altar, then in the choir loft, the choir singing was a choir of all Africans, making that amazing sound. And he was struck by the beauty of the sound and couldn't believe that the people that he knows what he put them through could come get this far and have that much beautiful of a sound. Because he knew the whip, he knew the excrement, he knew the blood and the piss and the urine that they slept in for months on end and died to get them here, to sell them. How could they make this journey and survive and make that sound such an amazing sound? And as he walked closer, he started to shake. He started to shake and he started to cry and he started to fall down on his knees and he started to pull that money out of his pocket and he begged the Lord to forgive him for being such a wretch. And he heard that sound that was coming from them that was so heavenly, so divine, that he knew, how could he treat a people so horrifically? And he gave up that gig that was paying so good because he heard the Lord speaking to him through their singing, through that amazing grace that saved that wretch. So I said to the babies in the class, see what I mean? Baby girl, you was wrong. You ain't the wretch. Ain't nobody black the wretch in that song. Baby girl, you are the grace. You are the descendant of the grace. He, John Newton, and his kind are the wretch for the wretchedness they have done to you and ours. And so, baby girl, but if you think you the wretch and don't know you the grace, how are you going to act like the grace? How are you going to be graceful? I said, so, because see, even though that was way back then, 1770 something, when John Newton got saved, you are the child of that grace. You are the descendant of that grace. That grace is in your DNA. If there was a mad scientist who wanted to steal the grace and recreate the grace, he could shoot a syringe right in your bloodstream right here today, and it would be in your DNA. That grace that saved the wretch. But if you think you're a wretch, you ain't never going to access the grace. You are the grace that will save the wretch. But you got to know that you're the grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved those wretches. Thank you.
That's amazing. I feel I just got a history lesson myself. That is amazing. So thank you for sharing that. And I definitely love that hymn. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
We are the grace, y'all.
Amazing. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you next week and continue to spread love and compassion and knowledge. That was beautiful. That was very beautiful.
Please do your own research and then spread that news. Don't take my word for it. Study John Newton, 1771, Amazing Grace. We are the grace.
Awesome. And where can we find you before you hop off? Where can we find you?
Instagram, Mo Beasley page, or on Facebook, Mo Beasley, and I'm on Twitter, Mo Beasley Speaks, and I'm on there a lot this week. Please follow me because I'm sharing. This morning I woke up, it's Black Music Month, and this morning I woke up and shared Curtis Mayfield's "We People Who Are Darker Than Blue." Bring that through.
I gotta learn it.
Poetry.
Okay.
You learning to write some new poetry.
Okay, what's the darker than blue? Okay, yes, okay. I will learn it. Maybe not in a week, but I will learn it.
Everybody go to my Facebook page today. There's a beautiful video montage that goes with this song. If you don't know that Curtis Mayfield song, we need it now because he's praising us as the grace. We people who are darker than blue.
Yes, definitely. Thank you again, and so much love, so much compassion, and so much, great positive vibes sending your way. And we will see you next week for sure.
Yes, shouting out from Miami Beach. Yes, y'all. Love Mission Brooklyn.
What? Look at this! What a surprise! Look at you, Apache.
Hey man, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Listen, man, I just had to say you guys were awesome tonight. Keita, thank you so much, man, for being in as host. Mo Beasley, man, I love you as always. You know, brother, I love everyone that came on tonight, man. Y'all are killer.
Yeah, everybody.
I just want to get on, man, and show my appreciation for each and every one of you, man. It was so great tonight. Keita, you're awesome. Guys,
Thank you.
I'm gonna get out the way, and I just had to pop on, man.
I was gonna introduce you. I just was getting to that, but you're on it. You're such a Capricorn. You're on it.
Hey, watch it.
I mean, that's right.
January 3rd, right?
Two Capricorns right now. You're a sandwich between two Capricorns.
Yeah.
Greatest of all time.
But thank you so much. Yeah, no, thank you so much. And you are amazing, Mo. Everybody that went before you was amazing. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. And thank you for coming back every week during this time. All right, I get it. Capricorns are great. I mean, I get it. I was just making a point. Capricorns are really, I don't want to say anal, but you guys kind of are. You guys have like a thing you guys have to do things, in an order. And you get stuff done. You guys are very efficient. So, but yeah. But anyway, you're loved and well. And I'm just going to close it out and just have some tags here, okay?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Once again, thank you again for tuning in. We're at the 2-hour mark of So Motif, and we are ending for this Thursday. And this is the Art of Protest session of Soul Motif tonight. And we have links that are scrolling below that highlight where you can donate directly on the ground in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the Twin Cities. And that's Kulia Pringle, and that's Marika Pfefferkorn. And so their links are scrolling below. And we are here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and Facebook. Please subscribe. Please hit that like button. Apache is going to be back hosting and just sharing and giving us some love next week. And thank you so much. And I'm out. I'm Keita P.